Hello, I am Bentham and welcome back to Satisfactory Desert Bus, where it has been a bit of a minute since the last episode, but we're going to be getting back to it and sorting out our steel supply. Last episode we set up our steel factory. It's still in its early stages. It doesn't have walls or roof, but it has the machines, and that's the important thing. We'll do more with it later, I'm sure. But right now it's in a kind of semi-functional state where there's going to be a whole other set of foundries here doing other stuff, but none of it can happen yet, and it doesn't really matter that much. So we're just setting up the initial thing, getting some machines that can make steel, and then we can use that steel to do some actual next tier work. Now, what I really need is it to be stored somewhere, because before we start taking it back over to the base, we do need to work on things here. I want to make some better miners and stuff, and just to have some steel to hand, and I'm out of it. Well, I say I'm out of it, I actually have a crap ton of it here. I can probably just start using that. Do I even need to take anything from the machines? And there's a fun thing with steel, is you just end... Well, not with steel in particular, but with anything, with steel at the moment, is that you just end up picking so much random stuff over time when building the factory. If you change anything around, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, everything those machines have built is mine now, and I've got to find something to do with it. So we have the steel to make a whole bunch of beams and pipes and make the tier 2 miners, and that's done. Then the other thing we need to do is try and upgrade all of our coal lines to Mark II belts. I don't know if we have enough for that, but we can try at least. I did stock up on them back at base in the hopes that I could do that. So yes, it's been a little bit of time since the last episode, and in that time there has been something of an update. There's been an experimental patch release, so the experimental branch of the game is once again something useful. It is an introduction, an early look. It's like an early access to early access. It's a little bit weird. So they've released some of the tier 7 tech, but not all of it. And it's not finished, and I decided to have a look at it and see if it was worth switching to it for this series, and it's not worth it. We're going to stick in the stable branch for now, because there's nothing of value to us currently in the experimental. Almost all of the changes made are to add in tier 7 stuff, and we're miles away from tier 7 here as it stands, and everything in it is very, very unfinished. There are, like, barely any icons. What icons do exist are just copies of other icons in the game. It's very hard to play with anything in that. And also, it introduces a couple of neat bugs that make things an absolute nightmare. For example, if I hit the sort inventory button, everything is fine. You see a little thing at the bottom that says, like, what I've gained, but it's lying because it's just what I have. If you do that in this experimental version, then it makes big windows that fill the entire screen top to bottom and never go away again. So if you are in the experimental version, don't sort your inventory, because you'll never be able to see anything again. I mean, you can save and load and then it's fine, but it's a huge pain. So yeah, it needs some polish. I think they mainly brought it out for the purposes of bug fixing and stuff, and I realise I don't have any concrete with which to make the encased industrial beams that I need. Crap, and I think the car is back at base, because I was hoping to just work my way back while making belts. Okay, so maybe we won't do the Mark II miners, maybe we'll just stick with Mark 1s for now. Which, I mean, we can do. It's not the end of the world. Wait, I used up what little concrete I had trying to make the beams, meaning I have not enough to make the one miner. Does that also mean that I can't make stackable poles? Where are they? Logistics, that's where they are. Yep, they need concrete too, so I can't just start building my way back. Well, okay, let's one thing we can do before we go is sort out the coal belts, I suppose. Let's go do that. So we'll hop over this way and we'll upgrade those belts. And we'll get back to all this work later. We'll maybe bring the truck. Then again, I will need to walk back to build stuff. This can work. I can walk back for now. Grab the stuff I need. Then on my way back towards the outpost, I can build the stackables. And then on my way back again to base, I can build the conveyors. It'll work out. There we go. I've got my system. I've got my plan. Okay, so conveyor lift Mark II. What needs upgrading? Do any of these now, or did I manage to do all these? These are Mark 2s. Oh, in that case, yeah, we're fine. They're all Mark 2s already. Presumably all of them. Well, let me look at that one. Oh, it had it. It's a Mark 2. Everything's fine. There's also a power thing up there, but I think I'm just going to leave that. I don't think I can deconstruct it from here anyway. Yeah, we just need to upgrade these to Mark 2s. Wait, no, I've done this as well. I thought there was something I hadn't upgraded to Mark 2, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it was just that I wanted to bring in these, and I can't because I need the stackables. Damn it! That's what happens when you run out of concrete. Everything needs a little bit of concrete in this game. Yeah, these are all Mark 2 already. I think I confused myself last episode. So I was going off what I said in that video. I probably wanted to belt in more individual belts of the stuff, and I can't. So we shall do that later. We shall go to the base. We shall restock on concrete, and basically only concrete. I think we're fine for everything else. And we'll come back and do some proper upgrading. And so we shall begin our trek through the fog. We can follow the power lines and the giant space elevator. I keep forgetting that there is just this giant line pointing up to the middle of the sky that you can follow to get back to your base. Like, literally, if you can see the sky directly above you, you know what direction to go in to get to your base. Wow, yeah, this is really foggy. Apparently they toned down the fog, but it's still pretty heavy. Which you're not opposed to. It's nice and atmospheric. Not actually too far to get back to base. We're basically already here. I have been having a think about my base and how I want to design it, and I think there's going to be some changes to be made soon-ish. The key one being that, as we've already discovered, the ratios for the iron production aren't great, and I kind of want to just tear this down and rebuild the whole thing, which I realise is a large task. I may do like the first steps of it on camera and the rest off camera, because you might get a bit fed up with me doing the same thing forever. But I definitely want to do that, and relatively soon, like before we start putting steel on the main bus, because I'd kind of like steel to be on this side of the bus. This is the thing about starting the series relatively early, is that I'm still changing my mind about things, and I'm still learning more about the game and good build plans as things go, and realizing that the stuff I built in this series is outdated now by my own design ideas, and I keep wanting to change things around. But I think that'll die down. I'm getting a solid idea of like the full game plan for how I want to build the main bus and the production buildings that feed into it, and so on and so forth. I have to pick what alternate recipe we go for. I might do stators just because that's the nearest thing. I mean, quick wire is an option using copper and caterium, but I've already decided I want to use all my copper ore to make more iron and then do the iron wire thing. So I think we'll skip that and we'll just use the caterium supplies to make more quick wire if we ever need more quick wire. We're not like super short on caterium. I think there's like one pure deposit nearby, but a pure deposit goes ridiculously far, so we'll be fine. I can always overclock it if I need to. So I think stators, I mean, they use quick wire. Quick wire and steel. I don't know if I'm going to do this, but it's worth having on the list. Our wire supply might get stretched in future depending on how things work, just in terms of like how much a belt can support. What else to do here? Is there anything really? The saline organs, we probably don't have enough. Fabric is an option, and then a hard drive. We might have another hard drive to hand. I get a feeling we do. There it is. Yep. I will pop that in, and we'll have another alternate recipe soon. 10 minutes. Okay, and let's check on... I don't think there's anything we can do here, is there? Wait, no, did we set up... I don't think we have motors, do we? We don't have motors. Can't imagine we have motors. Yeah, we don't. That's what we're stopped at. Trying to remember, and yeah, motors is the current thing. It needs steel, that's why. So, until then... Oh, but we can do this one because we just unlocked it. There and there. I think that's insta-done as well. Presumably. Doesn't really matter. That one's only 10 motors. We could. It would get us the Explorer. And that's neat. I'll leave it for now, but it's definitely definitely worth thinking about, and especially considering I now have some steel. Okay. Concrete, a whole bunch of it, please. Let's get like 6 stacks of it. Let's not make the same mistake again. Also, I have too much stuff. What can I dump? Leaves. I don't need 6 leaves. Also, I believe... I get it, believe... I can put some, put the stacks of nuts together. And yeah, is there anything else we actually need? I think it might literally just have been concrete, because... concrete's the worst. We actually have too much in the way of iron plates. That's what's clogging things up. So I might dump some of those. Oh, this isn't building up very much. What's that about? I forget what state we left the main bus in. Maybe it wasn't fantastic. Hang on. Actually, if I do like this, that'll help show me how much is building up if I leave and come back later. Let me just go and check on the situation. There's one. Where's the rest of it all? Let's have a look. Production's right around here. Wait, no, that's rotors, so this... wait, is it this here? Is it literally just the, No, it's the screws, isn't it? Hold on. No, it's not. This is running full pelt. Is everything else running full pelt? Oh, okay. Iron plates. Not enough of them, maybe. I mean, yeah, if that one's run down, then... Except they're okay right now. But only just? So, like, are they running down? Is it that they were running down, now they're improving again? And why is the screw supply so terrible on this one in particular? It's a Mark II, it's fully saturated. This is strange. I mean, I guess it uses exactly 120 per minute, if it's never been allowed to build up. Yeah, that's what it is. This one's been struggling more, so there have been times when it's not been operating, therefore the screw supply has been able to build up. Whereas this one's been operating continuously, the screw supply is exactly stable. It's not going up or down. Presumably. Okay. Interesting. Seems like there are enough plates to keep it running, though. Like, the ratio's correct. It's just, maybe they are just that slow. This makes 5 per minute. There should be 15 per minute coming through. That's 1 every 4 seconds. It didn't seem like there was 1 every 4 seconds there. That's not 1 every 4 seconds. Is it? No, it's not. I'm confused. I'm very confused. I'm probably just understanding something wrong somehow. The iron plates are feeding in that quick. Oh. There's a bunch of them here all at once. Oh, they're being split, aren't they? That's what it is. Half of them are going elsewhere. So they actually are more like every 8 seconds, which seems like that's more correct. They're all being used up then. That's the problem. Let's have a look at modular frames. Well, they're built up. Ah, okay, the modular frames are built up, but the actual reinforced iron plates are only just building up in the machines. So there's 50 in here. There's 50 in here, but then, yeah, oh, they need 100 each. So yeah, that's what the production's been doing. The entire time I've been away working on steel, they've been slowly filling up these these assemblers, and they're just getting to that point. Okay. I derped about my own design. I knew there must be something wrong, because I'm like, I can literally see the machines are running all the time, and they make 1 every 4 seconds, but I'm not seeing 4 every seconds on this belt. I'm doing something stupid. Oh, it's because there's another belt. You derp. Okay. Let's do some crafting while we're here. Just make some more reinforced, not reinforced, what are they? Encased industrial beams. How many do we need? I think we need them in 5s, and it's like, it's always 5 to make a machine. We make like 50, then we're super covered. We can make whatever we like. And I think we have enough to do that, so that'll work. That'll use up a bunch of our concrete that we can then grab more concrete and be absolutely sure we have enough concrete. I'll probably end up having far too much for a while now because I'm so worried about running out of it all. And 50. I've got a bunch of steel pipes, and we have... Oh, we have... I didn't realize we were using up exactly how many steel beams we have. Neat. Let's make a bunch more. I don't know if we need them individually for anything. The key use of steel beams is Mark III belts, and we don't have those unlocked quite yet. We'll see what we can do. I think it requires motors. Everything's hinging on motors right now. Not going to make 100 of these, but we could grab a bit more steel from our temporary production here. Just to make sure we'll have enough knocking around. I mean, we're about to go over to the steel outpost, I guess, so we don't actually need to do this, but I feel like getting this done here. In the comfort of my own base. We should probably be fine like that, right? How's this going? I imagine it's not done. Only 2 minutes to go. I could hang around for 2 minutes and get the next alternate recipe sorted. We do have some alien organs, but I'm guessing we need 10, and I have 9. We have fabric ready to do the research there as well. But what I can do is halve this, because we don't need that many on us at any one time. There we go. Plenty of food in storage of all kinds, so we could, if we had the recipe, make the... we do have the recipe, we could make the medical inhalers. We could chuck some of those together. Probably not a bad idea. There we go. I believe that these just instantly heal you fully. Let me work out the maths of that. That's 2, 4, 5.5. Yeah, so for 5.5 health worth of food, you can get something that can heal a full 10. So don't use a medical inhaler unless you're more than half injured, or you might as well just eat food instead. That's the key thing. There we go. 5 of those. And I'll probably just leave them in storage here for now, because I don't have enough slots to have those on the... Well, I mean, I could swap out the nuts for it, but I think it's going to be relatively rare that I'll be fully injured, so if that happens, I'll come back to base and use the healing things. I say that, I will forget. I know I'll forget, but it might come in useful at some point. So yeah, everything in the, all the newer, fancier uranium and aluminium-based stuff in the experimental version, those are the icons for all of them, which makes it a nightmare to be able to do anything. So you're crafting white squares into white squares, and you have to mouse over everything to know what it is. And there we go, the analysis is complete. Enriched coal is an option. Now that's a good one to take because I think you need this for certain things, and you can only get it as an alternate recipe. I don't think... I mean, the alternate rotor one would be nice, but we already have rotors being made, so it's really... we don't need it. It's not critical in any way. Caterium wire, no, that's... I mean, that's not the worst idea. Using spare Caterium to make wire to take the pressure off the iron supply so we can make even more stuff. But I think we're not needing that anytime soon. We're not working with Caterium. I'm going to buy this one just because you have to get it in here. So if I didn't, then I wouldn't be able to make it by any means, whereas everything else can be made one way or another. Right, should we get fabric? And let me check alien organs. Oh, it's only 5. We can put alien organs in. Yoink. And plonk. See what that guesses. I can't actually remember. I guess we'll find out. It'll be a surprise. Okay. Let's do one last little stock up. Just grab a bit of extra concrete. Basically. Is there anything else we need? Like, we've got a pretty solid supply of everything. I don't think we're missing anything. Yep, I'm going to call that good. Let us go. On foot. We've got to decide where we're putting our steel stuff. Now, one thing to bear in mind is that currently we've got steel ingots being made. We need to make those into the pipes and the other things. The girders. I forgot what they're called somehow. Beams, probably. Them ones. Yep, beams. We need a place to do that, so I'm thinking maybe up on here would be not too bad an idea. We don't need a huge space to do it, I think. We can always stack it higher if we need to make more. Maybe on this lower tier. That might be good. I mean, it's a bit thin, but then we don't need it to be wide. Maybe. Probably up here. I think up here's like, there's more space and I'm not using it for anything else. Or on that bit. Maybe a bit further back, just to leave space for other stuff, because as time goes on we're going to have more and more, like, simple production buildings springing up around the entrance to the main bus, basically. There's going to be a whole bunch of different materials, like, competing for space at various factories around here to enter in at that point. So there'll probably be one on that, and one here, and one up there. It depends, like, what's suitable. Yeah, steel probably up there, and then we'll work at everything else. So, this is where the belts will lead towards. And we'll have these be fairly high up, just so they can keep clear of passing vehicles and stuff. That said, here, I need a vehicle to come through here, potentially, so we'll have it be that high. And we'll just beeline these in the direction of our steel production. We'll try and make the rises and falls smooth. I think we want to go this way-ish. I think 3 is high enough for most vehicles. We'll make it 4, actually, just to be sure. Was that 5? Yeah, that was 5. Whatever. We're about to go up anyway. How do I get up here? Round here. Oh, some bacon there. I'm busy. I'll grab it another time. Okay, and right here. We'll just have that one like that. And we'll start to give it a bit of extra height. Maybe I should have had that a bit further this way. Like if we put it here. And then another one here. We keep clear of the ramp. Or should be fine. I'll keep that in because I think it probably needs to be in. Things we might get to the end of this and realise that we've spaced them out too much and it doesn't work. That's always the worst. Right, by this power pole will look neat. And I think as long as it's not 3 height, it won't interfere with the power lines, vice versa. We are in sight. And this should be about close enough, I think. Hope so. Let's find out. Yep, that connects. Presumably everything else does too. Just bring it up to that higher height. And that is steel ingots heading in the direction of the base. We'll have to fill in all the belts, of course. Next thing to do is the upgrades I was planning on doing here. So, delete you. I'm gonna make you a Mark II. There we go. So you are now producing 240 per minute. Excellent. I realize this can't actually handle that, can it? Yeah, I don't actually have Mark III belts, so I can't. I did it anyway. I had to build something. Oh, there we need a couple of portable miners. It at least means I don't have to upgrade them later. And redo the belts and stuff. Okay. Miner Mark II. Plonk. Back to you in a second. I just need to power this for a start. Need to check on the ratios and things and what we need coming into the machines. So yeah, these want 45 per minute in terms of iron ore. They're only going to get 30 because we're making 120. That's how much the belt supports. We're splitting it 4 ways. So these only run at 2/3 speed, so they're making 20 each, which means we're making 80 right now. So if we activate the other 4, then we'll actually have a full saturated Mark II belt of 120 steel ingots per minute. So we'll do that now. It's basically the same thing as here. What did I do? So yeah, I did conveyor poles right here, lined up with those, and then just a bit of splitter stuff. So, like that. And that. One in the middle. There we go, and then we'll have to deal with the splitters being a pain. Yep, doing that thing. You've literally got to stand on them. That's the only way you're allowed to build. It's weird and strange. It's the only way to be able to get the game to realize that you're focusing on the outputs of the splitters. Okay, and then that is going to come this way and into there. We'll power it. I'm just going to steal the power from that one. Doop. That's another 120 for now. That'll provide for all these. Now the thing is getting the extra coal in. So yeah, that's probably what I meant at the end of the last video, is get a second coal line entirely. Because we need to for this to run at proper speed. Is the iron coming? Yeah, it's on its way. This takes forever for the drill to actually get up to speed, but once it does, I think I'll just work from there. So on our way on, like, over to there, we'll build the stackables. It's really hard to actually click them when you're moving. Also, really shouldn't block off my path by building things in front of me. Oh, wrong one, but it works. And here we are. This is all Mark II stuff already, so all we have to do is then bring the belts back again. I could try riding them as I go, but I found that it doesn't really work effectively, though it is more fun. Just trying to get the job done for now. Oh, I tried to mid-air. Oh, I haven't done this in a while. I was just a moment where I'm like, I guess I could test this. Let's see what happens if I do try and build a belt through myself. It does still freeze you in place in that belt for all of time. Maybe I can ride these. Maybe it's not too bad. The real issue is actually when you get to faster belts. I think Mark IIs are just slow enough that they don't throw you off the edge, but I think when you do this with Mark IIIs, you just get chucked off the end of a belt when you reach it. So it doesn't work. But actually, this is totally an effective strategy. I was a fool. And there we go. Coal shouldn't be too far behind. Let's have a look for it. Okay, maybe it is quite far behind. There it is. Yeah, wow, okay. I forget you move faster on belts than items do because of weird, strange reasons. But presumably they will get here, they will feed into the machines, and we will have technically 160 ingots per minute, though only 120 will actually be of use. That just makes it sure that it'll all work out. That we'll definitely always have enough. Overproducing is better than underproducing. And speaking of under anything, I've undersupplied myself on the reinforced iron plates. We're gonna have to go back to get some more. Yeah, I really should have restocked on those. Well, I stocked up more on those because I didn't think about the fact that I would need to build a quite long belt line. And it really does eat the reinforced iron plates. Mark 1s and Mark 3s are cheaper than Mark 2s. It's a little bit weird. We can't make Mark 3s yet. This is what we've got. That's the price you must pay. Is needing to carry crap tons of reinforced iron plates if we want to actually build anything of speed. Perhaps we'll get to that next episode, because we're about, at the time, to end for today. Let's hop back to the base, see what there is to be done. Though we're actually done on the hard drives, though we've presumably finished the research. Oh, I think it was actually 20 minutes. Yeah, there's still 10 minutes left on the alien organs. Wow. Alright, we'll leave those for now then. One thing I will think about is where I would like to put the iron production if I move it. Yeah, it's going to be quite the undertaking to do so because I built this huge facility. I did all this work. And one thing I could do is not bother deconstructing the upper floor and the gantries because the main bus will actually just slide underneath without any issue. But these will have to go like the furnaces because they're lower down. Like it will be fully broken. I just maybe don't need to spend the time actually deconstructing it all. I'll just tear out the bits I need to tear out and go from there. Right, let's hop up here and think about the design. So there's our two belts there, and I'm thinking we mirror it basically here. So this belt will actually be where one of the main bus belts is, and then in what, the middle of it, is it? Yeah, the middle of the next one. So yeah, these two actually perfectly mark where the belts will be, and then the actual machines will start just beyond this. That's the idea, and yeah, the smelters will definitely have to go. But I could just have the belts go past and have it start here. One thing is that with the ratios being wrong, I'm probably going to have to redo it anyway. I'll eventually just end up having an entirely separate site, so I might as well just do it all now. That's my reasoning. And also it's symmetry. A major part of it is symmetry. If it wasn't for the symmetry, I'd probably say, nah, forget it, just build around it, but because I like it to be symmetrical, I'm probably going to tear this down so I can build the bus in the right spot. Because it's important, damn it. It matters to me. But that means the iron facility has to be somewhere else. I'm fairly out of the way because it's going to be quite large. I mean, round about here might not be the worst. Back here, you know what? There's a big open space right here. Nothing going on. This is where we'll build it. Nice and close because we don't want it to travel miles away, especially considering that we've got all our iron mines right here. Right by the space elevator with a little bit of clearance. And then we'll have like a two-step thing, a big smeltery room, and then that goes on to a building that does the plate and the... Well, two separate buildings that do the plate and the rod production, and then we can expand those as needed. And that should work. And the rod production will be huge, because it needs to be for all the various things we need to make. And that's the big thing, that I got the numbers wrong. I thought we'd need equal amounts, and we absolutely don't. We need way more in the way of rods. So yeah. So that might be next episode's project then. We can start on building some new smeltery and production buildings over there. And working out the iron stuff. Also, technically with the steel stuff like set up, we can now do the turning iron and copper into plates thing. That's also something we need to do. So we might have 2 buildings, one for smelting just pure iron and one for smelting the iron copper alloy that is just still iron. Do it that way. Also, I need to check if we actually have iron wire as a recipe yet, because I realize I don't actually know, because it's been a while. Can't make a constructor. Damn it, let's go get a bunch of reinforced iron plates. Yoink, 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 yoink. Hell, we'll get 6 stacks, we probably need it. Constructor, plonk. And do we have it? Yep, there it is, iron wire. Makes 9 wire out of 2 ingots. Producing 67.5 per minute just to be awkward. What is that? It's 130 or is it 125? One of them. 135. Okay. So 4 of those makes a full Mark III belt of 270. Oh, that's not too bad then. Oh, and then yeah, one Mark I belt of iron ingots coming in makes that. Those are actually nice ratios, surprisingly. You wouldn't expect it. Alright, we may do that then. Though that's going to be later. We only need to start making like the composite of copper and iron when we actually run out of iron supply, and I think we'll be fine. We can make Mark II miners and we can overclock them even if we want, so we should be okay there. It's just like a future thing, is one day we can make crap tons of extra iron so that we can keep things running super fast. But that's for in the distant future. For now, we are fine. How's the power, by the way? Absolutely fine. Not even the remotest hint of a problem. Awesome. There we go then. So yeah, next episode we'll do a bit more work on the steel. We'll actually get the beams and the pipes being made, and then we'll probably work on making the iron facility for just redoing this and changing it about and making it more versatile instead of the rigid modular system we had, which is confusing really. We'll make it more modular, a better kind of modular. But that is all I have time for today, so I shall say goodbye. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time.